All right, good evening. I call this public hearing to order. I'd like to recognize and appreciate we are holding this hearing within the traditional territories of the Tishat and Hupacheset First Nations. My name is Penny Cote. I'm the director for the Sproat Lake electoral area. I'd like to introduce you to the ACRD planning staff. Mr. Alex Dyer, General Manager of Planning and Development, and Carrie Creighton, Planning Assistant. This hearing is being held in the ACRD boardroom and electronically by Zoom. It is being recorded and is live streaming on the ACRD website. So would staff please provide direction on instructions on how to participate in this hearing?
Thank you very much. So first of all, thank you for participating. We do have one member in the boardroom here. And if you are watching the live stream on the website and wish to participate in the public hearing, the details on how to connect can be found in the Zoom meeting invite that's linked on the public hearing page on the website. Just want to quickly start off by highlighting some of the tools in Zoom that'll help you participate. If you are online, you have the option to mute or unmute your audio so other meeting participants can hear you. We do ask that you keep your audio muted unless you are going to speak in order to reduce any background noise. There will be an opportunity to speak after staff introduce the application and the applicants have an opportunity to present. So when the chair will call upon members of the public to comment on the bylaws, we ask that you either put your hand up or call out that you would like to speak. Once you have been recognized by the chair, we ask that you state your name and your address, followed by your comments or questions. If you are in the boardroom here, you will use your microphone on the table and hit the silver button on the microphone base so that those online can hear your comments. And then also in the Zoom, there is a chat feature that's accessed from the controls on your screen if you'd like to make a comment or ask a question at any time. The comments will be addressed by staff during the public hearing, so feel free to add anything as you're thinking of it, if you'd like to have it considered as we move along. And these comments will be brought forward when the chair asks for public comments. And again, there will also be a final opportunity prior to the end of the public hearing for any members here in the room or online to make any final representations on the bylaw. Thank you.
Thank you, Alex. So the subject of this hearing are bylaws P1526 and P1527. These bylaws are applicable to 7775 Pacific Rim Highway and are necessary to rezone the subject property to reflect its current residential use. If you have any questions or comments about any other related topics, I'd ask that you contact the regional district staff after this hearing has been terminated. So would staff now read out the public hearing notice?
A public hearing for proposed development in electoral area D, Sproat Lake, has been scheduled to consider application RD 24007, bylaws P1526 and P1527. The hearing details: when, Tuesday, October 28, 2025 at 7 p.m. Where, electronic call-in or in-person attendance at the Alberni-Clayoquot Regional District office located at 3008 5th Avenue, Port Alberni, BC. Property owners Matthias Zeller and Linda Venema. The subject property is located at 7775 Pacific Rim Highway and is legally described as Lot A, DDEH 144608, District Lot 140, Alberni District Plan 7298. Bylaws P1526 and P1527 are necessary to rezone the subject property to reflect its current residential use. Bylaw P1526 is a Sproat Lake Official Community Plan Amendment bylaw to redesignate the subject property from commercial use to residential use. And Bylaw P1527 is a Zoning Atlas Amendment bylaw to rezone the subject property from Highway Commercial District C4 to Acreage Residential District RA3. The public hearing will be held by the Director for Electoral Area D, the alternate director, or the chairperson of the regional district. The board resolution making this delegation, copies of bylaws P1526 and P1527, and all relevant background documents are available for review at the ACRD office and are available as supplementary information on the ACRD website at www.acrd.bc.ca/events/28-10-2025. Planning staff are available to answer questions in person, through email, or by phone during regular office hours, 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Monday through Friday, from October 10th, 2025 to October 28th, 2025. excluding statutory holidays. Anyone who feels their interest in property will be affected by the proposed bylaws will be afforded a reasonable opportunity to be heard. You can participate in the public hearing in person, electronically, or by phone. Full instructions to do so can be provided by contacting planning staff. In addition, participation instructions are included in the supplementary information available at www.acrd.bc.ca/events/28-10-2025. The public hearing will be conducted from the ACRD office located at 3008 Fifth Avenue, Port Alberni, BC. Written correspondence can be submitted to the ACRD by hard copy, delivered to the ACRD office in person or by mail. Email sent to publichearings@acrd.bc.ca. Email submissions will only be considered received if receipt confirmation is provided by ACRD staff. Written submissions can be provided at the public hearing or in advance. Written submissions provided in advance of the public hearing must be received no earlier than 8 a.m. on October 10th, 2025, and no later than 4 p.m. on October 28th, 2025. Submissions provided ahead of the public hearing outside of these parameters will not be included. If you have any questions, planning staff are available to provide assistance during regular office hours, 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Monday through Friday, excluding statutory holidays. We can be reached at Alberni Placourt Regional District Planning Department, 3008 Fifth Avenue, Port Alberni, BC, B9Y2E3, phone 250-720-2700, or by email at planning@acrd.bc.ca.
Thank you, Carrie. The purpose of this hearing is to receive input, written and verbal, from any person who believes that their interest in property is affected by the bylaws. Members of the public will be allotted 5 minutes to provide their comments a first time. We will hear everyone wishing to speak for the first time before allowing second comments. Each time a member of the public provides their comments, they will be allotted a maximum of 5 minutes. A person can come to the speaker's podium as many times as required, provided the person is providing information not previously presented at the public hearing. The Board of Directors will receive full minutes of this hearing before voting on these bylaws. Staff are taking the minutes that summarize the issues raised. So please speak clearly to ensure accuracy. So would staff please introduce the proposal?
Happy to, thank you. I will start with the agency referral responses. Those received that noted their interests were unaffected by the proposed rezoning. Responses were received from Island Health and from the Building Inspection Department of the ACRD. Copies of those agency referral responses are available for public review, linked on the ACRD website, and hard copies available here in the boardroom. Agency responses will form a part of the public report, the public hearing report that will be considered by the board. There was no correspondence received from the public ahead of the public hearing, so nothing there. In terms of the applicant's proposal, the property owners are applying to rezone the parcel to reflect a change in the use of the property from a mix of commercial uses to a primary residential use. There are no longer any commercial businesses operating from the property, and the applicants intend to rezone the property from highway commercial C4 district to acreage residential RA3 district, and redesignate the property from commercial use to residential use in the Sproat Lake official community plan. So bylaws P1526 and P1527 were given first reading by the board on August 27th, 2025, at which time the public hearing was delegated to be held by the area director. Bylaw P1526 is the OCP amendment bylaw that would redesignate the property to residential use, and bylaw P1526 is the OCP amendment bylaw. 1527 is the zoning amendment bylaw to rezone the property to the RA3 district. When the board first considered this application on August 27th, the board confirmed that adoption of the rezoning would be subject to confirmation from a registered on-site wastewater practitioner that the parcel can accommodate on-site sewage disposal to a 0.24 hectare minimum density, which aligns with that minimum lot size that's required by the RA3 zoning. As part of the conditions of rezoning set by the board, the applicants must also agree to discharge an existing covenant that's registered on the property. Restrictive covenant EF 95869 limits the types of commercial uses that are permitted on the property. That covenant was registered in 1992 as part of a previous proposal, and it restricts the commercial use to the operation of a roadside snack bar, hot dog stand, and a gift shop. The uses have since changed, obviously, and the completion of this rezoning application would bring the property into a residential focused zone. So that covenant, there are copies available here in the boardroom, and it's also linked on the CRE website as well, and that will form a part of the public hearing report. And then finally, it is also noted that the property lies within 800 meters of a controlled access highway, that'd be Highway 4, right in front, and approval from the Ministry of Transportation and Transit is required under the requirements of the Transportation Act. So that would follow third reading of the bylaw. We would be referring it to the Ministry of Transportation and Transit again, and they would need to sign off on it. So approval by the ministry, as well as confirmation of that sewage capacity and the discharge of the covenant will all be required prior to staff recommending the board adopt the bylaws. I'll leave it at that.
Thank you. So at this time, would the applicant like to add anything?
Yes, the Matthias Zeller, 7775 Pacific Rim. There was talk about the snack bar hut, right? That is at the moment a doghouse for a big guard dog. So does it still need to be moved, or?
I'm happy to answer that question. So no, the covenant would be removed that the limits to uses. The building itself is not a concern of the rezone.
And Roto-Rooter came by and they have all the reports. I told them to send them here. I don't know if you guys seen them yet, or.
We will review that as part of the package when the board considers this bylaw for adoption if they proceed with third reading. Thank you for that.
Thank you. Did you have anything else you'd like to say? Okay, do you want to tell the board why you're rezoning or anything like that, or?
Reason for rezoning is to get away from a private lender to a traditional mortgage. Like I explained the last sitting, right? It's I can't afford it anymore. It's just too much.
Thank you for that. It's important for the board to understand why rezonings are brought forward and what's happening in our communities. It's unfortunate that you're facing this, and sad to see commercial entity ending, but I can absolutely understand why you're here. Okay. So at this time, we'll hear from any members of the public. Please wait until you've been recognized by me. State your name, address before beginning. All participants are asked to abide by the social accountability and respectful language guidelines included in the sign-in sheet. Anyone who incites harm towards other participants will be asked to leave at the discretion of the chair. So at this time, ask staff, is there anybody email, or there's no one in the room, so.
Yeah, thank you. No, we have no members public in the room here, and we don't have any members in attendance online, either in the webinar list or as panelists, and nothing in the chat. So once again, if you are watching the live stream and you would like to participate in the public hearing, the link to connect into the Zoom webinar is in the Zoom webinar invite document. It's linked on the website where you found the live stream. So, but beyond that, no, we don't have any comments from the public. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I guess at this time then, does the applicant have anything else to share? Okay, I will, should we give them 2 minutes, or if there's anybody out there that would like to respond? Okay, go Blue Jays. Just like to point out that we have no TV in this room, so.
Yeah, there's no emails that were received in the public hearings email either.
Okay.
You know, that would be for correspondence ahead of the meeting, but no, it doesn't look like anybody is attempting to connect in the meeting, and we don't have anybody in the Zoom webinar.
Okay, then at this time, I would please say that please be advised that the members of the board of directors cannot receive any new information related to these bylaws between the end of this hearing and making a final decision on the bylaws. If any board member does so, the hearing could be invalidated and would have to be held again. With that in mind, does anyone have any final comments? No, I'm seeing no responses, so one last time to staff, is there any?
There's no members of the public on there, and I don't think staff have any comments.
Okay, thank you. I call for the first time for any further representation on the bylaws. Hearing none, I call for a second time for any further representations on the bylaws. I call for a third time for any further representation on the bylaws. Hearing no further comments, I declare this meeting terminated. Thank you so much to the applicant and staff. Go Blue Jays.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you.